Protocol. I'm Charles, also known as Omnis, and today we are going to talk about Shuri, because in a lot of people's minds, she's one of the most influential characters in the game. She's only 3 threat, she brings a lot to the table and can assist just about any team. She brings a lot of ability to generate rerolls, which helps with a kill or a daze focus team, and she also brings a lot of pushing tech, which allows you to take advantage of the crisis in so many different situations. So I thought it'd be cool to show some of the dynamics of what she does on the table. So first off, we're going to start off with just a really basic, this is what she does when she advances on something like gamma shelters. So in this crisis, you can see that she can walk up and immediately, turn 1, she has the potential to push someone off of their own defensive crisis on the other side of the board. This is a pretty big deal, because at the very least, it creates a very difficult decision for your opponent, and they have to figure out whether or not they're going to stay back defensively and not advance that far forward to avoid being pushed off, but then also potentially not being far enough forward to significantly threaten your team. Now, this can get even more exaggerated if you do something like this, say with Star-Lord, and you drop her off on turn 1. With that ability, you're going to immediately generate an attack, so she can immediately push someone off of their own defensive crisis, and she's positioned to potentially push 2 more people, or on her own turn, she can push 1 and then back up to a more defensible position. Now, keep in mind, whenever you're doing something like this, it is not that unlikely for Shuri to get dazed in 1 activation. She has only 3 defense and 5 overall stamina on each side. So just keep in mind, she can absolutely go down. So you got to be careful when you do that sort of maneuver with her. But you can also generate maneuvers like this even if you don't want to bring drop off, or if you want to save drop off for a later turn down the road. So if you're playing her in Cabal, keep in mind that just the mastery of the cube can allow her to be far enough forward where she can just camp her point and easily push 2 people off of the middle crisis to facilitate you getting control of that on turn 1. Or even if you're not playing Cabal, you could still do this with tactical analysis. Say, for example, if you do something like Vision, he can walk forward, sit on that defensible crisis, and then immediately use his ability to generate 2 power, and that allows him to be at 3, and then he uses 2 of it to use tactical analysis, and you can put her in an even scarier spot. So both of these maneuvers set up for her to get double shots onto that center right away. So you can see here, just by looking at this kind of core situation, you can end up with Shuri absolutely tilting a matchup. Because if someone's not prepared for it and they lose that center in the middle of, in the middle of the board, and then they're losing out on those 2 victory points, it changes the math pretty dramatically, because a lot of games are won or lost on 2 points. So from there, you also have to keep in mind, retaliation on Shuri is a pretty big deal. She is a primary target when I see her, and I have attacks on her. So one thing I like to look at is if I'm pushing someone like, say, Thor or Killmonger or Valkyrie, anyone with a medium move and a range 2 attack to follow up with, I want to see how far I'm going to have to get them away to make sure that Shuri doesn't immediately get charged or for Asgarded, that sort of thing. So I've learned a trick. If you just use your medium template, the medium movement template, and check and see if they are within the medium movement, that gives you a really good gauge of whether or not they're going to be able to get to you. Because if they're outside of a medium movement, or there's outside and a little bit to spare, generally speaking, they're not going to be able to get to you. So that can be a good gauge. But if you check and they're within the medium, there's a really good chance that they're going to be able to immediately charge you afterwards. So here you can see the example where once you push away Thor, if he was more than that range movement away when you started, after that short move back, and when he tries to use the medium plus the range 2 to get to you, he's not going to get there. So that's just a quick and easy trick if you're not trying to waste a bunch of time and you just want to get an idea how close am I to getting smacked around. And so use that trick. That'll help keep Shuri safe, because the longer that she is not dazed and she gets to run the table, that is a huge deal. And this is a key part of playing Wakanda Wave, which is a really popular team right now, especially at 15 threat, and it's probably only going to get more popular, and you're going to see more variations of this that use something like Shuri. You might see it in Cabal, you might see it in Guardians. It's definitely going to be around. So go out, play Wakanda, play Shuri, And with that push tech, know that you will be OP.